Once a fox fell into a well, and though it was not very deep, he found that he could not get out again. After he had been in the well a long time, a thirsty goat came by. The goat thought that the fox had gone down to drink, and so he asked if the water was good. "The finest in the whole country," said the crafty fox. "Jump in and try it. There's more than enough for both of us." The thirsty goat immediately jumped in and began to drink. The fox just as quickly jumped on the goat's back and leaped from the tip of the goat's horns out of the well. The foolish goat now saw what a plight he had got into and begged the fox to help him out, but the fox was already on his way into the woods. "If you had as much sense as you had beard, old fellow," he said as he ran, "you would have been more cautious about finding a way to get out again before you jumped in." The moral of the story: look before you leap. We all have heard such stories from our childhood. We believe these stories had moral purpose only, but agencies have agenda to establish norms. Generally, norms are created to establish order. Human beings need yardsticks, as one human life is too short to have all experiences and understand. Since people don't accept direct advice, stories or songs were used to pass on messages. Innocent agenda of establishing norms over a period of time became control mechanism, and convenient agenda was implicitly passed on. During childhood, children develop vocabulary and also worldview. If they are caught at a young age to pass on an agenda, they develop certain traits. Thus, considering any message as harmless without understanding the agenda can be dangerous for the society. Tool of interrogation and redefining is crucial to understand real motive of any genre of literature. Also, if the biography of a writer is available, it may provide certain threads as to what way to define the message. The term fable traces its origin to the Latin word fibula, which means a story. Since children have shorter attention span, so most fables are short. Fables are anthropomorphic. This means that the animal characters in these stories can talk and reason like humans. All fables, with the help of animal characters, deal with human strengths and weaknesses. The narration broadly remains third person and sometimes even uses first person. Most fables also try to sharpen thinking faculty. They juxtapose characters to first let children know the good and bad, virtue and vice, and then show the result, thereby handling and advice to discern the logic. However, the flip side is that children start developing an understanding that the rules of life are always in black and white, and that the outcome of certain action is certain only. Their worldview becomes certain, no doubt, but also monodimensional. In real life, challenges come in many shapes, and in many cases, the solution to these challenges depend on individual ability and psyche. Any challenge carries multiple ways of solving it. Also, most fables create gender stereotypes too. Fables also allow human beings an opportunity to laugh at their own stupidity and errors. Because characters tend to be non-humans, generally satire is well taken. Some such examples are Swift's Gulliver's Travels and Orwell's Animal Farm. Because of their brevity and moralistic ends, sometimes people confuse parables with fables. The main difference here is this, that while fables use personification and present animals, elements of nature, or inanimate objects as characters, parables have human presence. Early instances of fables can be found with Panchatantra in Sanskrit. These stories are attributed to Vishnu Sharma, which is mostly a pen name. In South India, many believe that the writer was Vishnu Bhag. It is believed these stories were created to teach the princess of a king, what constitutes Rajdharma and smart thinking. Polygenetic similarities are also found of the same stories in world literature, and it is assumed that tribes separated by vast geographical distances were unanimous in believing certain basic codes of morality and the functions of fables. Aesop is credited with the largest number of fables, and while it is not certain whether he would have actually written all of them, oral traditions have attributed many fables to him. Some of his most famous fables are Belling the Cat, The Fox and the Sour Grapes, The Stag and His Reflection, The Monkey and the Camel, The Wolf and the Lamb, and many other such stories. Some fables keep on getting reinvented and reinterpreted from time to time. This becomes possible as the ending of the main source can be mended a bit to present new cultural message. Story of the race between a rabbit and a tortoise has been retold many times and is even used today to interpret management lessons. Somerset Maugham retold the fable of Ant and the Grasshopper to give the message that in an opportunistic world, to generalize that industriousness is always rewarded and giddiness punished is wrong. The story presents George as Ant and his brother Tom as Grasshopper, and the ant is in total contrast to the original fable. So folks, which fables do you remember and who told you those stories?